Hi good people, how are you doing? So I'm gonna be getting ready as I do this video. So I already lit my candle here. As you can see, I love candles. It was a gift, so I just recently started using it. It smells so nice. So I want to do my makeup. I want to get ready as I do this video. And I want to focus on how to choose people who soothe your trauma or who help you with your trauma. By trauma, I mean childhood trauma, whatever it is you went through. So I did some videos before. I did a boot camp, Healing the Inner Child boot camp, and I gave you guys the signs that you went through trauma and what it did to you, like what it caused for you or what happened. So today I just want to talk to you about whatever it did to you, your trauma did to you. Maybe it left you too clingy, or it left you with a lot of anxiety. It left you hypervigilant. I said hypervigilance is one of the signs of childhood trauma. It's a common one. Hypervigilance is constantly waiting to be attacked, to be blamed, or to be criticized. So you find that you live with a lot of fear. Like you can't even start a business. You can't start new things. You can't just live your life the way you want because you're scared somebody somewhere is gonna criticize you. Probably because you were criticized so much while you were growing up. Probably because you were criticized so much during your upbringing, or because you were always blamed or attacked or bullied, all those things. Yeah, so you find that you're always on the edge, you're always scared. They're gonna shout at me, they're gonna do this to me. So you'd rather stop yourself from living your life the way you want instead of being attacked and criticized. Anyway, so how do you choose a partner who helps you with your trauma? Because we can't ignore whatever happened, and wherever you go, that little girl follows you, will follow you wherever you go. So how do you choose spaces that help you with your trauma? Because you remember, like I said, when you go through childhood trauma, the early people in your lives are the people who teach you about relationships, who teach you what relationships look like. And one of the struggles of people who went through childhood trauma, and I struggled with the same thing, is establishing healthy relationships, even friendships, even places of work. Yeah, so you find that you struggle a lot with establishing healthy relationships, and it's because whatever example was shown to you as a little girl, if your father was emotionally unavailable or he was abusive, you find that that is what you know as a relationship, and that is what is familiar to you. So you find that that is what you keep attracting. So it's very easy to be in dysfunctional relationships, and you realize if you don't heal the trauma, you're usually in a relationship with your dad, like someone like your father, and you don't realize it until someone tells you, or you keep dating like the same men. If your father was verbally abusive, it's very easy for you to find yourself in relationships where men are shouting at you, men are calling you names, but you stick around and you think it's normal. By sticking around and thinking it's normal doesn't mean it's not hurting you, but you don't know how to live. You don't know how to get in a better relationship. You know this relationship is hurting you, but then you keep getting into the same relationship over and over again. So I'd like you to know what your trauma did to you. How did it leave you? Did it leave you extra clingy? Did it give you a lot of anxiety? Are you hypervigilant? What did it do to you? And then now when you're choosing a partner or even a job space or even friendships, now you have to choose people who don't make it worse. Because what happens is if you are brought up, for example, let me use the same example, by a verbally abusive father, you find that those are the people you keep attracting, but they keep hurting you the same way. It's like you keep recreating that childhood over and over again. So what are you supposed to do? You are supposed to choose the opposite. You're supposed to choose people who soothe your trauma. For example, For example, if you are extra clingy, I know there are people who went through have serious abandonment issues from their childhood, or a lot of that issues. So if it left you extra clingy, like you're always so uptight when it comes to abandonment, you're so scared of people abandoning you because you know it hurts and because it's happened to you before. So what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to choose someone who is emotionally present, who will soothe your trauma. You're supposed to choose someone who reminds you you're important to them, who reminds you they're not gonna leave you, who show you with their action by how they show up, how much they even call you during the day, how they check up on you. But what happens is, if you don't know that, you keep attracting people who are also abandoning you even now at your space, and then they make it worse. You know you're already clingy, and then you date someone like your dad, and then they start ghosting you. That boyfriend, they ghost you for a whole 3 days, they ghost you for a whole 5 days, and then now you go back to that helpless little girl. You start crying, you start following them everywhere, going to check them at different bars. You know, it leaves you paralyzed, it leaves you start getting panic attacks and extreme anxiety. So whatever your trauma did to you, or however it left you, you need to get a partner who soothes that trauma, who helps you, not someone who makes it worse. If you have extreme anxiety, yeah, then you need to date someone who is present, someone who doesn't leave you guessing, someone who will not give you a lot of uncertainties. And one of the ways you can do that, when you start dating and you know you get panic attacks, you're full of anxieties, and you're always on the edge, and you're hypervigilant and all that. When you start dating, I advise people, my clients, not to go with the flow. Like, you know how you flow and then you're assuming they're your boyfriend, and then now 6 months later is when you're wondering, what are we, where is this relationship going? I say, before you really decide this is the man for me, like this is a serious guy for me, have that conversation with him. Know your place officially before you get there. Because what happens is, you find that you put yourself through uncertainties over and over again. Yeah, you are in a relationship, whether you don't know whether you are the side chick or the main, or whether that's your official boyfriend, but you've been sleeping together for the last 4 or 5 months. So, and then now you start calling me and then saying, but then you know I don't know where I stand with this guy, I'm getting panic attacks at night. It's because you're subjecting yourself to the same uncertainties as you were subjected to in your childhood. So choose people, even jobs. If you're at a workplace where one of your bosses reminds you of what you went through in kindergarten or during your upbringing, and they're very abusive, or they take you back to that helpless girl mode, yeah, then you probably need to look for another job. I'm not saying you leave your current job, look for a job when you're still working there, or find a way out. Because like we say, we cannot change people, and it's not your job to change people. I say, take people at face value. Yeah, you can only work on yourself, you can only change yourself. So choose, even job environment, even friendships, choose people that help you with your trauma, not people who make it worse. Like I said, you can never ignore whatever happened to you. It happened, you can never ignore it. So choose someone who will soothe that trauma with you. What happened to you? There are a lot of causes, there are a lot of signs, there are so many signs. I wrote them down here because I know I'm doing a lot with my hands, so it's easy for me to forget. Anxiety, the unhealthy attachment styles, strong unexplained reactions to some people, hypervigilance, memory loss, difficulty establishing healthy relationships, among others. So whatever it is, if you have unhealthy attachment issues, if you're extra clingy, which is okay, I'm not here to judge you and to shame you, I don't do that, then please date a man who's secure. Date someone who reminds you you're important and they love you. Don't date the same person who hurt you in your childhood over and over again. We say we attract what is familiar. Yeah, you know you want different, but you don't know how to get different until you heal. And if you're thinking of maybe starting your healing journey, you can start by getting my bootcamp, the one we did. It's on sale, by the way, you can get that. But if you've gotten that, or you've done your work somewhere else, maybe you've went for therapy, remember the best way is to choose spaces that don't mess your that don't make it worse. You know, whatever it is you're going through, whatever you're dealing with, if your trauma messed a lot with your confidence, yeah, maybe the people who are early in your childhood body shamed you, spoke a lot about your long legs or about your fat legs or about whatever body part or whatever it is they say to you about maybe your grades in school, maybe they called you stupid or dumb or whatever. So you should not be with someone who's repeating the same things to you, who's taking you back to that helpless girl mode. Now you date someone who is the opposite, who loves you for who you are, who compliments you, who tells you they love your beautiful parts, who remind you you're beautiful and wonderful made, who remind you, you know, why they chose you, why they are with you. Yeah, so if you're dating somebody, if you went through so much in your childhood and you're dating somebody or in your relationship or job place or where you work or in an environment where they're bringing that helpless girl in you, you find yourself crying. I used to be that girl, crying in the car park, not because it's even happening to you, because for me it was not happening direct to me, it was happening to other people, and it would really hurt me, and I would go back to that helpless girl mode. I'd feel like it's happening to me all over in my childhood. So when I understood this, even in my dating, I used to date men who are not very nice, who are also who couldn't even say I love you, or who couldn't even compliment me nicely, you know. And when I understood that, please, when you're dating from a place of trauma, get somebody who, I think I've messed. I've packed mascara. Let me just fix with my makeup brush, makeup fixer here. Yeah. So when you understand that, okay, why do we do the mouth thing when you're doing the mascara? Okay. So when you understand that, now you give yourself what you wanted. You know, those exercises I gave you, or I give. Yeah, I hope you did that. Those who were at the camp, that camp had a lot of people, like 80 women. Those who were part of my camp, I hope you did your assignments. You know how you say you give yourself what you didn't get in your childhood. You guys, can you see the difference? My lashes. Give yourself, no, my mascara is dry, I need to buy another one. But let's just force, you know, I'm a Kenyan, I'm forcing it. We force issues, so I'm gonna force it until it works. Yeah, you know how I say you give yourself what you did not get in your childhood. That also means even the kind of people you associate with, the kind of relationships you go for, the kind of people you're into, the kind of people you allow in your space should not be coming to make it worse. This should actually come to make it better. Yeah, that is what I believe. So I want my makeup a little bit, you know how, like, no effort but flawless, that in between. So this is my dressing table. It has a big mirror, but I prefer to do it here because of the light and also because I'm doing a video. So I want to get my, gosh, where is that thing? Oh, it's here. I want to do a bit of bronzer. Yeah, so basically that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. Choose people who help you in your journey, and also choose men. If it's dating, especially for those who've not gotten married or you're not in a relationship. I see some people are like, you know, I don't want to be single. It's usually when you're single and working on yourself, it's usually like kind of like a surety. When you're choosing a partner for life, you'll do better now that you know better, right? Yeah, so I usually like this bronzer so much, by the way. I like the Mushaino. Anyway, yeah, remember, it's your job. Yeah, it was not your responsibility what happened to you. What happened to you was not on you. They hurt you, you were helpless. Now you're a grown-up, you give yourself what you did not have in your childhood, and even you owe yourself a healthy work environment. And you know how because we were children, you could not just run away from home. So you had to take the bad treatment. Now you are an adult, you can actually even choose where you want to work. You can apply for different places. You can apply for work at different places and choose where you actually want to settle. So good people, don't subject yourself to tears and to non-stop friends who are making you feel less than. You're dating men who are body shaming you over and over, like your uncle or your dad or your guardian. Yeah, when you find such people who are taking you to the helpless girl mode, you drop them like a what? Like a hot potato. Yeah? Yep. Anyway, a girl is looking hot. It's in the evening, you guys. I don't even know why I'm doing my makeup. But my husband is about to get home, so he'll find me here slaying. On slay mode. Anyway, so I wish you all the best. Anyway, so remember that if you're putting yourself through spaces that take you back to that cry mode and to that heart mode, then you're not doing yourself justice. Then you're the one who's messing with your life. You're the one who is taking yourself through the same thing over and over. There is what happened to you, and there is what you're subjecting yourself to. Anyway, bye, good people. Have a wonderful evening.